kickstart. It's 8:31. Your presentation, this, that, all set, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I'll give a very 30-second opening note, thanking you and whatever that is, whenever you see. Huh?
Yes, sir. You want to start off?
Yeah, sure. Hey everyone, a very good evening, 8:30 on a Monday night. But thank you so much first to Jagat Iyer from Vidphone. It's his platform, so but still, what really matters is, Jagat, I really thank you for taking this time out and preparing. And it's a very useful solution about SDK integrations and how founders can use all these tools, the Vidphone platforms, and basically about everyone coming together so that business can grow, solutions can be found, and make lots of money. So without further ado, Jagat, over to you. And I'm also looking forward to this presentation. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you. First of all, thanks a lot, Vijita, for collaborating. And as I said, so SDK is something. So I'll directly get into the presentation. It will cover most of the points. Am I everything audible, right? All good?
Audible, Jagat. You're very clear.
Right. So this is really the goal. Of course, Akhil and I put this together. He's done a lot of the some parts of it as well. So, enabling the video first business. This is what really our focus is today. Right? Every business today is becoming a video first business, and this is really what this presentation is going to be about. Very quickly, what is the status today? As you know, with COVID now, people cannot meet in person, cannot travel. Demand has stagnated in many industries. Offline business models are heavily affected, and businesses need to adapt by bringing their sales, support, and marketing completely online and digital. Right? This is really the context of where we're operating today. What is Vidphone? So Vidphone, we're a secure by design, full suite video communications platform. Basically, our mission is to help businesses and organizations transform their sales, support, and marketing through live video. And the full suite of offerings, includes video meetings, webinars, appointment scheduling, integrations, and various other things that I'll be running you through as well. So just, the very first thing, I think today everybody knows about webinars. And we'll start with the webinars, right? So webinar is basically a one-to-many or a sum-to-many kind of broadcasting scenario. With Vidphone, the biggest, benefit is that one, you have a designated link that you can always anchor your webinars on, which is, for example, /TV. And they're extremely simple to set up and join, and also to schedule. Of course, there is nothing to download. You don't have any application to download. Everything is on the browser. You can also invite co-presenters, just like we're doing this. You can have multi-presenters here, and admin controls to handle, let's say, some bad actors who might come about by any chance. You can also engage audiences via comments, questions, polls, etc. We also have a very unique video raise hand feature with real-time audio mixing of the presenter and viewer audio via the web audio API. Crystal clear screen sharing, as you can see now also with my screen. I mean, you'll generally never find Vidphone screen sharing, going pixelated. And of course, we have the new feature where we can also simultaneously stream to YouTube and also Facebook soon. So the second big component is video meetings, which is what we can call video conferencing. Again, here people have in Vidphone open permanent video address or a video identity. It could be vidphone.me/Jagat or vidphone.me/XYZ. Very, very easy to remember. And one of the main things that we want to bring about here is what we call, impromptu meetings. Now, when you look at a phone call or an email, these are not things that are planned. You generally call somebody or you mail somebody, instinctively. But with video conferencing, be it any platform, be it Google Meet, be it Zoom, be it anybody else, typically the video conference has to be preceded today by an email or a WhatsApp where we are scheduling this. Now, this needs to change to make video communications ubiquitous. Anytime, like for example, when we are meeting, my team meets, we are probably meeting at one of our rooms. It could be room/Jagat or room/Akhil. Similarly, Vijeta, anytime you want to meet somebody, all you need to tell them is, come to my room, which is vidphone.me/room/Vijeta, right? So this way, we are doing away with a lot of meeting IDs, no passcodes, none of these things really required. Of course, today we are, I would say, world class. We are handling 100 plus users concurrently on a call. You can share your presentations and documents in high quality again. Private meeting rooms with admin control. So you also have the option to lock the rooms in case you want higher level of privacy. With the one-to-one calls, ours is completely peer-to-peer. So there is no intermediary server, which means extremely high quality of video. But at the same time, you also have very, very high security. And of course, we various things like simulcast, dynamic resolution adjustment to be able to reduce the load on client devices and handle bad networks as well. As you know, in India, the networks are, we really have to build for shaky and poor connectivity. And that's really a differentiator for us compared to a lot of the other platforms out there. Not only video conferencing and webinars, what I always say is that, that there are more elements that will come together to have really video first business models. Some of these are to do with scheduling, the appointments, and the one-click calling. Let me very quickly tell you how this works. So of course, scheduling is basically you scheduling out a time and sending out an email invite. The appointment scheduling is where your potential customer or your partner who wants to talk to you, he's coming and scheduling your time. Typically, this is done via multiple emails to and fro, scheduling the time. We have a very simple interface where every Vidphone user has this appointment scheduling feature that's on his home. That's a vidphone.me/your name. So people can come, they can pick a time, and they can confirm it. The moment they confirm it, both the owner of the ID as well as the potential prospect or the customer gets a unique link, a Vidphone video conferencing link that he can click on, and basically at that time you can have that conversation with him. Most importantly, again, this is a permanent Vidphone address. There is no need to keep giving people different IDs and different passcodes. It's everybody, like you have a phone number or you have an email address, you have a Vidphone ID. Now, coming to the chat widget and the SDK. One of the things that we noticed, while a lot of people are using video conferencing, a lot of people are using webinars, ultimately these are today the real engagement modes for businesses and for customers. But what's happening is that all of this time that's spent by both the business and the customer is not happening on the business's properties. These are happening on third-party applications, be it the video conference or the webinar, be it Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. But actually what businesses require is that all of this actually happen on their own platform so that they're able to generate fresh content. After generating that content and getting those users, they're able to attract people through, let's say, the chat widget. Now, just to show you an example, you can see this I'll just share my screen here. Just show you the example on the Vidphone website itself. When you look at our website, you can see that in this bottom, we have this chat widget here. Typically, most chat widgets, you might see maybe Zendesk, Zopim, FreshChat, a lot of them have this text messaging that's inbuilt. You can basically send text messages and communicate. What we have done is we have actually put video and voice chat right on this chat widget. So when you have a customer who's visiting your website, the whole objective is to be able to drive an inquiry. And that's really what this is about. A customer or a potential customer comes to your website, he's interested in your offering. You want him to talk to your sales or your support immediately. And that's only going to happen through video or voice chat. So you can come, just click a button. Immediately, the person at the other end, that is the team, the business team, is able to take up that request and go further with the actual customer. So these are three of the main kind of associated features that we believe are very, very important in aligning video communications with existing business as usual. Today, before COVID, most meetings were happening based on setting a time, meeting them in person. But all of that today has to become digital, and it's happening through, let's say, our appointment scheduling and the scheduling feature. But also the chat widget, where typically a website would have, let's say, a contact form where a potential visitor comes and he may put an inquiry. But what we have seen is that contact forms really don't work that well. And the results are quite bad. So here, there is a direct experience for both the consumer as well as the business. So they're able to click a button and immediately get into a business conversation. Let's get a little more deeper into the integration. We allow you to integrate both our video meetings as well as your video webinars onto your website and your apps. This could be completely web-based, or this could be your Android or your iOS apps as well. iOS is coming soon. It's a very, very quick 5-minute integration where you can integrate the chat widget, just a simple script to be pasted into your site, and you have the mobile app that's installed where you're receiving these calls. So we also have things like text chat, and of course audio calls as well. Another thing that we have is now the webinar SDK. Now we know that content is king, and one of the richest forms of content today is video. Now just imagine if every day there could be brand new content in high quality video being pushed to your website, being able to attract new customers. This is really one of the main things that we want to do with the webinar SDK. Another thing is a lot of scenarios where there's learning and development, where there are scenarios of training. The webinar SDK can be integrated directly into your own applications, and you can have the entire feature set that we actually have within a few minutes up and running. The meeting SDK also is an extremely exciting use case. Today, when we look at the digital ecosystem or the digital world, what we see is that today we live in what we call the attention economy. It's really about how much time or how engaged are our users using whatever be the application, the website or the mobile app of every single business. What is the time and how deeply engaged are they? Today, if you look at the top applications around the world, be it WhatsApp, be it Facebook, be it other platforms, the users are able to talk to each other. And this is a very, very important feature. It increases the average time that people spend on the site or on the application. And the more the time somebody spends, your users spend on your site, the more possibility of business actually happening. And of course, the moment you get people to talk to each other, there is a very close association and relationship that's built between your users. And they become very, very diehard evangelists of your own product. So the meeting SDK is designed to get you started as quickly as possible. We have spent a lot of years in perfecting this technology. But what we notice is that a lot of startups need not spend their time building out this video communications. They have their own businesses to attend to, and they have their own customers and their own roadmaps. So we allow you to plug in your entire video communications platform, in a few steps. We also handle the media, the UI, and all of the remaining kind of associated things that are needed to be able to deploy it onto your own service. Typically, when you see the integration into a website, it's one line of code. We are just embedding an iframe into the website, and this is good to go. Of course, there are deeper integrations for those who want. Our tech support and tech team is always there to kind of support our customers and to help them build more detailed solutions if they want. But what we allow you to do is to do this, within a few minutes. And it's basically just pasting this one line of code into your actual website code base. The iframe will display the live stream if the user is live, else it will display the last recorded stream. Many times there's not a current live stream that's happening, so you don't want that real estate to actually go waste. So what we do is we actually play the previous episode or the previous recording when there is no current live webinar going on. We also have the option of integrating into the Android apps. Now, we provide a hybrid solution. We also have native solutions that are coming out very soon. But for now, all a developer has to do is enable his web view on his Android app for the specific calling functionalities, and basically put in a few lines of code that's all detailed in the dashboard, as you can see. A user just needs to log into Vidphone or sign up, and he will see that in the SDK section in the menu, he can go and have the specific code snippets that he needs to actually implement. And this is actually an example of an actual customer who uses this product. So again, for those who want more details, you can go more in detail about this. The main requisites for the meeting SDK for web, the website needs to be HTTPS enabled, which means that it basically is a very, very simple step. I think most proficient developers should not have an issue making it HTTPS enabled. For Android, the SDK runs in a web view currently, though very soon we are coming out with another version where you will not really require the web view. We won't call it specifically native today, but it will also be hybrid, but it will handle certain scenarios that's more specific to native applications. The device, of course, must have a working camera and microphone. Today, we are in a video world where audio and visual is very, very important. So a working camera and a microphone is a must. And of course, the SDK must be enabled in the dashboard before it can be used. So this is in the account section. It's just a simple checkbox that you enable the meetings, and there you go. That's it. So it's very, very simple. We have made it in such a way that even beginner or intermediary level developers are able to actually get this going into their own applications and add a lot of value into their own apps. So again, a lot of details in each of them, whether it's the meeting SDK, the webinar SDK, whether it's web, whether it's Android, very, very detailed steps and procedures that can be followed and to be able to implement this very, very quickly. One of the beautiful things about the Vidphone SDK, or what we're going to call the VDK, is that it scales to your needs. Here is a simple architecture diagram, how Vidphone is structured. The two main kinds of peers here, where you have publishers and subscribers. Publishers are those who push out the video, who are, for example, me in this case, and subscribers are those who consume this audio or video. These are the viewers. On the load balancer, basically is distributing the traffic in a round-robin fashion. We have certain algorithms and methods that we use to actually implement this. Admin servers keep track of the available media servers and which publisher stream is in which media server. Publishers join the least loaded server at all times so that we ensure that there is a consistency in the experience. And when subscriber requests the publisher stream, the publisher stream and the media stream, when it's overloaded, the stream is forwarded to the next loaded media server. So we're having a cascading, of sorts, where we are optimizing the kind of resources available based on the demand. Now that's a lot of tech. So what we'll talk about now is these real life business applications. We really believe that in the next 5 years, that is, let's look at 2025, 5 years from now, and it wouldn't be surprising to see that over 70% of video of transactions are happening on video. This might be a very far-fetched statement, considering that today it may be less than 5%. Though there is a Zoom and other video conferencing apps, video transactions are not really what's happening today. However, we believe that in the next 5 years, between 70 to 80% of all transactions globally will happen on video. And that's really what we want to empower. With Vidphone, we want to empower with specific use cases and features to handle different scenarios. 3 of the most important sectors today in India and globally are telemedicine, edtech, and financial services, banking. The telemedicine use case is a very, very important use case, especially in a country like India, where we have probably a doctor-patient ratio of 1:50,000. There is a huge gap in the availability of quality doctors. Now, especially with the coronavirus now spreading into the hinterlands and into the remote areas in India, it becomes very, very important that there is access to good quality healthcare, even in the last mile. So you can safely conduct secure remote consultations using video. So basically, patient and doctor video consultation, a very, very secure and scalable environment. The second comes to education. For the first time, you have 1.5 billion people, billion students all over the world who are not sure about their own education future. Today, most teachers, most students are limited to certain global options. This could be a Zoom, this could be a product by Google, this could be a Microsoft Teams. However, we must understand the kind of security issues that have happened in the past. For example, Zoom bombing, various other issues are extremely dangerous when it comes to the career and the future of the children. We have managed to solve this through a couple of very, very important feature updates. One of them being video authentication. Much like nobody, a stranger cannot just enter a school or a college complex without an ID card. Vidsala enables the teachers to have a complete list of all their students and all of their photographs, so that only authenticated users are able to actually come into the class. We are calling this vidshala.com from Video Pathshala. People can check out vidshala.com and also provide their feedback. We also have some wonderful features where the teacher can see all the students, but the students can only see the teacher. This is wonderful when it comes to reducing distraction and noise for the student, enabling them to focus only on the teacher. We're also coming up with a couple of very interesting updates around automated test taking and also the test results and corrections. This will save a lot of time for every single teacher, not only in India, but around the world. One of the key things about Vidsala is that this is not only a place for K-12 education. We really believe that education and learning is a holistic experience. A knowledge skill set, or you have a diverse experience, we believe that the value of the education is not really 100%. So in Vidsala, not only will you find formal subjects like a physics or a math or computer science, but you will also find yoga, you will find guitars, you will find other skills and other talents that people can come and enhance. And our goal really with Vidsala is to make India the knowledge capital of the world in the next 5 years. We really believe that that is possible. Coming to the banking use case. As we know today, looking at a place like India, where a large percentage of our population is unbanked, it becomes very, very important to really have financial services at the last mile. vidkyc.com is our banking video communications product, where you have video KYC as well as video sales and support for all banking, financial services, and insurance use cases. This will allow people to open up accounts very, very fast, to be able to service their insurance claims, to talk to their relationship manager and their bankers on one click, and also going further, being able to settle claims and various other financial services related benefits through video. Just expounding a little bit on a couple of use cases here. The very first, let's say, is telehealth. Today patients are extremely wary of going to the hospital due to the current pandemic. However, with Vidphone, you have high quality video chat that runs even in low bandwidth scenarios. So even if there is a patient in a remote place in India, with one click and with an internet connection, he's able to access high quality doctors and healthcare that's comparable to a city. This is also fully secure and encrypted, so it allows a complete sense of trust and security around the whole application. The end result is to be able to get quality medical help anywhere, anytime. Look at a second use case, which is to do with Vidsala. Now, as I said, millions of students today, in fact, billions of students are stuck at home and they are missing their classes. And today their options are video conferencing apps which do not have the specific education related features that are really required for the teachers as well as the students. Vidsala is a custom product that we have built for the online education space. It is secured by video authentication to ensure that only authenticated students can join the classroom, protecting all the other students from any kind of unwanted experiences. The result is that students get the experience they deserve from the safety of their homes. Let's take a third case. There are a lot of applications today that are handling the gatekeeping scenario. For example, you may have an apartment society. You may have a RWA, which we call the Resident Welfare Association. And a lot of these applications do a great job at taking up the entry and making notes, but you need a separate intercom, separate WhatsApp, high groups, and all of that to actually keep the conversations going. Especially with the current pandemic, it is very, very important for gatekeeping applications to be completely touchless. With Vidphone Meeting SDK, they can basically have a complete encrypted video call between the visitor and the resident of the apartment in one click, all integrated into the application itself. These also have other benefits where the Resident Welfare Association members or the committee members can also have secure video meetings within the application itself. So the end result, Visitors can be verified and let in with one quick video call. So basically, this is like a video intercom. A very, very interesting use case here. I'm sure a large percentage of people in India are religious or spiritual. However, as we know, most places of worship and most forms of congregation are discouraged. But religion must go on. Religion, as the name says, is religion, which basically brings together a group of people. We are very excited to say that we have some customers who have been using our product on an average of 2 hours a day for the past, over 6 months. So we are very, very excited to take what we call like this next wave of faith or next wave of religion, which is going to be completely based on video communications. People can attend a mass, people can attend puja, or they could attend a particular event completely from the security, safety, but at the same time having access to the spiritual and religious guidance that's very much needed today. Another use case, a very, very important use case here for India, which is to do with rural empowerment and remote training. As you know, one of our customers has been using our application for many, many months now. And the kind of audiences they reach in the rural areas in India, again, we must consider the fact that the networks are not good, the devices probably are not the best, many times. But what's very important is that they're able to deliver this value to the last mile, in India. With travel restrictions, students and graduates are finding it really difficult to get employment. So using Vidphone, webinars along with conferencing, there is a lot of remote skilling and empowerment that is able to happen. So the result is that students get to know the opportunities available to them and they can find the much needed employment that they need. These are only some of the use cases. Video is going to change the way the whole world works. Entire business, will be completely different in the next 5 years. Today, people are using e-commerce. They may use e-commerce sites like Amazon or Flipkart to buy products worth 10, 20, 30,000. However, there is always a doubt in the consumer's mind when it comes to photographs and deciding. When you have a live video of the product or even a recorded video of the product, the ticket sizes of e-commerce go up. You can start buying houses, you can start buying cars, you can start buying personalized, commerce. All of this happens once the video comes in. Similarly, you have matrimony and dating. In many, places in India, people are dependent on applications for matchmaking. Now, the obvious thing is that because meetings become a lot more difficult, physical meetings today, the Vidphone SDK becomes very, very important in matrimony sites and other dating sites where the two people concerned can actually have a very, very high quality video chat and increase the strength of their relationship and bond. Remote monitoring. Today, in many places, the field staff have reduced in numbers. However, business must go on. In most of these cases, we find that video chat or video conferencing through Vidphone is extremely secure and also serves the purpose 100%. You also have real estate. If you look at how, for example, some people make purchases, typically one person in the family would probably go to the property, take a video of it on their phone, and then probably share it with their loved ones to take a consensual decision. With live video chat, real estate brokers and developers can directly talk to potential customers through video chat, high quality video chat with one click. This also opens up a lot of potential for a lot of NRIs and non-resident Indians who want to invest in India. There is no chance for them to come and visit the site. However, here they can actually have a video tour of the site, a live video tour, look at details that they want and actually further their conversation. Similarly, like real estate, you also have automobile sales. Today, many people are afraid of going to a showroom. However, automobile sales also can be done completely through video chat. And we are working with one of the largest companies in Europe to be able to actually implement this in a POC. A lot of insurance claims will be all solved via video chat. Let's say there's an accident, the claims team want to quickly look at the status of the vehicle, etc. All of this can be done without any person coming there or movement of people. It can all be done completely on high quality video chat powered by Vidphone. Another thing that we can look at is the live streaming and entertainment section. Today, a lot of games and a lot of other entertainment related features require that people actually talk to each other, and they're able to actually have live streaming as well, one to many and the group scenarios. And of course, finally is what we call like the concierge economy. Every individual for a premium experience can be dedicated, can have a person at the other end through video chat and any kind, be it a hospital, be it a hotel, be it a hospital, be it other kind of transaction areas where they may have like a premium service where they're offering you a concierge, a personal concierge. A live video chat's really a very, very powerful way to go forward. So that's summing up a lot of the use cases. We have covered a lot, but I think there is a lot of things that we have not yet covered, and I think that also is something that we'll be sharing in due course. Very quickly about our company. Every Crave WebTech Private Limited, we incorporated in 2012. So we've been around for 8 years. In fact, we've been around for 10 years. We've been around since 2010. We've had the fortune of working with a lot of large companies and helping them with their digital journeys and digital transformation. We're also the winners at the NIPP, the NASSCOM Industry Partners Program for Telecom in 2019. We're incubated at the NASSCOM 10,000 Startups. And of course, goes without saying that we're a very, very proud Made in India product. Some of the users of Vidphone, and we want to give a special thanks to all of these wonderful people who have signed up, who have used our platform. Of course, not all of them are paying customers. It's a disclaimer from our end. These are all the people who have accounts with Vidphone. And our goal is really to ensure that we are able to deliver more and more value to all of these people. And so that's about it. I mean, we're kind of, at the end of this presentation. Thank you very much. Happy to take any questions or any suggestions, Vijay.
Jagat, that was very, very, very nicely done. Thank you so much. And what matters is, and I want to just see today in India, telemedicine. Obviously, you spoke a lot about that. Okay, and there is a lot of, I think, one of our good friends also, Kalyan from 5C Networks. He works with teleradiologists and hospitals. Then we have people like whom we, I mean, recently again, one of the NASSCOM center of, the folks, Naren from I am here. Then EdTech. I mean, India seems to be the birthplace of whatever you want to call it, unicorns, whatever it is, 10 million, 100 million, $1 billion, $10 billion kind of evaluation. But it's an important thing.
And we're just getting started.
Yeah, and it's just getting started, right? So what should they be doing is what is the specific question that I have. Okay. And see, it is not just about using a technology, Jagat, right? Here, I come from the founder's perspective. How is it going to help business? How is it going to help me to impact my consumer experience, enhance my customer experience, so that whoever is paying me as a founder, I'm sorted out. So maybe some thoughts on that to the founders would make sense.
I think the main thing that I also kind of vouch for the founder mindset, because I also am a founder, and I've been a founder now for quite a few years. So the only thing I've learned, I mean, the most important thing for a founder really is customers. If startups and founders have customers, I think a lot of the other things fall into place. Now, if we need customers, we need to think about customer experience and how are consumers or customers experiencing our brand, right? A lot of them, of course, before COVID, of course, in our industry, it's all about technology and a website or a mobile app, and then that's your customer acquisition channel. But there were a lot of businesses who are outside of, who are still running other businesses like freelancers. There are other manufacturing companies, agricultural companies, a lot of cases where they were not in video. With video, what we've actually put together, the entire customer journey on video, right? This is how we are seeing it. So what do we mean by the customer journey in video? Now, customer journey is basically before a customer knows of your brand. After he knows of that, then he gets to know about your brand. He's interested in your product. He purchases your product, and it doesn't end there. He's continuing to be a loyal customer, not only purchasing and repurchasing, but he's also able to refer other people to actually get into your system. So when we look at this, we look at the first thing is to do with marketing. and then you have sales, and then you have support. This is what we call external communications. And with Vidphone, this is one of the main differentiators compared to the incumbent video conferencing companies. Most video conferencing happens with people we already know. That's what we call internal communications. Now, for business to happen, we need to focus on external communications, which is conversations with the customer. And so far, if you look at how consumers or customers interact with brands, typically it has been for a long time over the phone call. Maybe they will actually go to their office and in person, but maybe that's less now. But you have phone calls, email, and probably help desk or social media. But today, video chat is becoming the number one place for business conversation. So what founders should be doing is rethink their entire customer experience and center it around live video. So how this would work is, let's say that I have a brand XYZ. The first thing I need to do is to let people know that there is something called XYZ. And the way we do that is we do a webinar. We do it on webinar. It's also automatically getting pushed to YouTube and Facebook. It can also be distributed to other channels like email, WhatsApp, etc. So that's your first piece. You're actually pushing that information out. They don't know about you at all. They experience this webinar, and then and the beauty is that this webinar is on your own website. And so you're a consumer to come to your website to explore your offerings. And now when they're interested, you have what we call the live chat widget right there. So when the customer is interested, he clicks the button, he's talking to your sales team. And then you're actually have a very, very high chance of closing that conversion compared to a phone call or an email. The moment you see people face to face, there is a 60-70% kind of probability that the sale should go through. Now that being said, it's not enough that he's just bought a product once. What's very, very important is that these customers are able to reuse the product month on month, and you're able to have fantastic engagement with them, and also that they're able to refer more people into your circle. So this is how we have built. Any startup or any founder, or in fact any business, can just implement these three simple things. The first being the webinar, which we call Vidphone TV. The second being the live chat widget. And third being the conferencing, or we call the rooms, to really the entire customer journey and customer experience in a brand new and in a very, very fun way. So that's my thoughts on what, because we're talking about Vidphone, and this really is what every founder needs. I mean, he needs a way he can talk to people and kind of have meaningful conversations. Now, coming to the edtech startups. Yes, the past 2-3 months, I think, because of the pandemic and school shutting down, it's really been a kind of, it's a war between Silicon Valley-based companies or, West Coast or US companies like Microsoft, Teams, Google, or, Zoom, versus homegrown companies like, let's say, I don't know, Byju's, Unacademy, Vedantu, a lot of the other players. What we see and what we really believe is that one, that there is a very, very nice sweet spot in the middle. Now, when you look at the Indian companies, these are not formal education. They're all like, you kind of sign up for a course. It's a very, very short term. It's more of learning. It's not really education. But when you look at, the actual schools and colleges, it's not just a hobby that you go and learn. It's education. There's a system there. There's a process. You get a certificate at the end of it. And there is certain direct value, based on what you do. So I think, very, very honestly, with the way things are today, I think we really have to wait for how things pan out. It's very, very difficult to say that, hey, schools will open, things get back to normal. Or if they don't, then what does this new normal look like? Does it take 16 years for somebody to kind of, pass 10 standard and get that level of knowledge? And, all years engineering or 3 years BCom and then MBA for, 5-7 years. So totally you're looking at about 23-24 years of a person's life just going and studying. Whether that's right or wrong, well, your guess is as good as mine. But I think there's always scope for improvement. And with Vidphone specifically and with Vidsala, our goal really is to democratize knowledge. And anybody at anywhere in the world can basically access high quality education learning and do it in a live interactive way like this. It's not recorded videos, it's not textual content. You're in touch with a mentor or your trainer right there. So I think that there is actually a lot to be done in terms of I think we're just getting started in the whole edtech space.
Very nicely said, Jagat. And which are the other industries, Jagat? So we talked about edtech, we talked about telemedicine, we talked about, I mean, see, now, of course, we really don't know because I have a lot of friends in co-working spaces also. So I should not say that everyone is going to go on to work from home. But, there are so many other industries that need these kind of solutions, right? One more thing that founders keep talking about, especially hardware guys or the SaaS guys, right? How do we do product demos? How do we can convince a buyer to trust us to buy our product, take up the demos, etc., right? I mean, talking strictly on sales, and more sales. So, what are the things that you founders should be looking into and leveraging all these kind of solutions in tech?
So, as you said, yes, many of the sectors are yet to be explored. And one thing I would say is that Vidphone is perfect for anybody running a tech business. What you need from them is for them to visit your site or have a video conversation, share your screen. You can share your presentation, your deck, your website, as well as what you would do when you're actually there in person. So I would say that just following these 3 steps, that is integrating getting a Vidphone account and setting up your Vidphone ID, the second step being setting up your conferencing, and the third step being setting up your webinars. Now the moment you do these 3 things, and as you can see here, for example, this is the TV link here, so you can deeply integrate your webinars straight into your websites. So I think the moment a startup founder or any business starts thinking on these lines, I think that they're probably on the path for a lot of success.
Perfect. Hey, thanks, Jagat. See, I know it's only 9:15 in the night. We've been at this. We've been very beautifully engrossing the audience with this. There is one gentleman called Mr. I think Senthil at saibosis.com. He wants you to write to him.
Sure.
So just make sure that you do write to him. And very nice, Jagat. See, one thing that we would love to have is I think there are a lot of iterations, changes that you're also working on with your team. And let's get more founders. We have been also doing this League of Extraordinary Startups, where I think 15 episodes, we have got almost more than 20 odd founders to come and talk about themselves, their product, their solutions, how they're innovating, the challenges they face. So I'd love to do more of that. And the ecosystem should collaborate. You have been part of NASCOM. That's how we, of course, know each other. And amazing stuff, Jagat. Thank you so much for this beautiful presentation. By the way, very nicely done presentation. You must convert some of these into knowledge.
I hope it was.
Yeah. And and Jagat, later on, I guess you're going to be sharing the YouTube link in various WhatsApp groups in your timelines and all that, because I think this
Yeah,
is going to be very useful for founders of how they can use SDKs, integrate this chat, video widget, etc.
yeah,
Right? There's such nice solutions in today's world. And why shouldn't we adopt technology? And why should not India, Atmanirbhar is being talked about, Jagat? And let's use all this tech and to make the country grow and on a global scale. I mean, I know that you also want a lot of companies from outside of India also to adopt these solutions. Thank you, Jagat. Thank you so much.
absolutely.
Any parting
I
words
must
for our
thank you,
wonderful?
Priyanka. I must thank you for taking out time and having
No
this
problem, sir.
conversation as
No problem,
always.
sir.
So yeah, fantastic. Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure. Let's do something extraordinary all the time. Okay.
Done
Take
deal.
care, man.
Always.
Cheers,
Thanks
cheers,
so much.
Jagat, and good night. Bye bye.
You too. Have a great night. Bye. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.